Material requirements planning, MRP, has been a staple of manufacturing for decades, helping planners calculate what materials are needed and when. But one glaring oversight in most traditional MRP systems is the assumption that you always have enough production capacity to fulfill whatever the plan says. In reality, capacity is never infinite. We face labor constraints, machine availability issues, supplier bottlenecks, and setup times. Ignoring these constraints is a recipe for chaos. Orders get pushed back, overtime skyrockets, and morale drops as schedules constantly change. Here's why this assumption of infinite capacity can do more harm than good. 1. Schedules that look great on paper but fail on the floor. MRP works by looking at demand and exploding that demand back through bills of materials. It calculates how many raw materials or subassemblies you need and when. But MRP doesn't dig into a critical question. Do we have the machine hours and labor capacity to actually produce all this on schedule? Bottleneck blindness. Machines and work centers can only process so many parts in a given shift. When MRP assumes capacity is unlimited, it might schedule more parts than a work center can realistically handle. Unrealistic start-end dates. Often you'll see start dates that overlap on a single machine, or end dates that clash with actual human labor availability. It might look neat in a software-generated Gantt chart, but it collapses once you attempt to execute on the shop floor. 2. The domino effect of overload. When MRP's unlimited capacity assumption triggers schedules that are impossible to meet, the manufacturing floor goes into firefighting mode. Last-minute expedites. Overloaded work centers scramble to finish critical orders, often leading to overtime and expedited shipping, both of which drive up costs. Chaos in priorities. Supervisors shift priorities daily or hourly to appease the loudest customer or the highest level manager, leading to inefficiencies, wasted setup times, and worker frustration. Quality risks. Rushing can mean cutting corners. An overloaded schedule pushes workers to meet deadlines at all costs, sometimes sacrificing thorough inspections or proper process controls. The net effect is a supply chain that looks good on paper but fails to deliver reliably in reality. 3. Strained relationships up and down the chain. It's not just the shop floor that feels the consequences of infinite capacity assumptions. Suppliers get surprised. When you realize the plan is unworkable, you may place rush orders on components or push out delivery dates without warning. Suppliers, in turn, get blindsided. Customers lose confidence. Missed deadlines and incomplete orders erode trust. Customers start padding lead times or seeking alternative suppliers, further complicating your forecasts. Internal tensions. Sales wonders why production can't meet what MRP said was feasible. Production blames the inaccurate forecast. Purchasing complains about the constant last-minute changes. Morale suffers and collaboration stalls. Over time, these strained relationships can inflate costs and damage your reputation in the market. 4. How true capacity planning fills the gap. While MRP is valuable for ensuring material availability, it must be paired with robust capacity planning or advanced planning and scheduling, APS, to reflect reality. Finite scheduling tools. These systems account for actual machine labor availability. They schedule tasks in sequence, respecting capacity constraints, thereby producing a more realistic plan. Real-time shop floor data. Integrating Internet of Things, IoT, sensors, or digital feedback loops provides up-to-the-minute capacity updates. Machine down, worker short-staffed, the schedule can adjust accordingly. Scenario planning. Modern capacity planning tools allow for what-if analyses. You can see how adding a shift or outsourcing certain operations might solve an overload problem before it cascades into disaster. Cross-functional collaboration. By sharing scheduling constraints with sales, purchasing, and even key customers, everyone operates with a single, realistic plan, cutting down on miscommunication and frustration. 5. Navigating complexity with constraint-based thinking. Today's supply chains are more complex than ever. Globalized production, multi-level bombs, unpredictable demand spikes, and just-in-time requirements all stress the system. A single assumption of infinite capacity can quickly break it. No single bottleneck. Often there are multiple interdependent constraints, specific skill sets, specialized machines, or raw material shortages. High mix, low volume. Many manufacturers produce a vast array of products in small batches. Scheduling that efficiently without proper capacity planning is next to impossible. Automation and AI. New technologies enable faster production and data-driven insights, but they can also exacerbate capacity mismatches if your planning software doesn't keep pace. The only way to avoid these pitfalls is by explicitly modeling constraints. When your planning tools capture real-world limits, your schedules become far more accurate and your supply chain becomes much more resilient. Conclusion: embrace reality for a resilient supply chain. MRP, in its original form, is a powerful tool for determining material needs. But if you rely solely on MRP while pretending capacity is unlimited, you'll end up with unworkable schedules, chaos on the shop floor, and broken promises to customers. To thrive in today's fast-paced manufacturing world, you must match MRP with real capacity planning and advanced scheduling systems. This ensures that your plans don't just look good on a spreadsheet, they actually work in practice. Once you move past the flawed assumption of infinite capacity, you'll see a transformative impact on efficiency, cost control, and team morale. The lesson from someone who's been there and back: be realistic about your capacity or be prepared to constantly put out fires.